Hi.
Welcome to Masters of Motorsport. I'm Paul Smith.
I'm Mark Smith.
And today we're going to be discussing another ex-world champion in Formula One.
Mm-hmm.
It's, of course, the Professor, Alain Prost.
France's best racing driver.
So anyway, Alain Prost, second most wins in Formula 1, 51 wins from his 13 seasons in Formula 1. He's a bit before my time, I would say, because I'm young, you see.
Polite way of him saying I'm old.
Yeah. He won the title 4 times. The last time I do remember with him winning for Williams in that just unbelievably brilliant car, the most technologically advanced car in Formula 1 ever. And then they changed the rules.
Smart thinking.
So, of course, we've got that 4 times champion. 199 starts. Didn't quite get that 200th start, but oh well, never mind. Of course, he had the big rivalry with Ayrton Senna. What do you say about
that? Is the main memory of Alain Prost, is the whole rivalry with Ayrton Senna. He was always sort of stuck in the shadow because everybody saw Senna as the greatest driver of that time, sat on a plinth above Prost, and he felt like he was trying to catch up basically all that time. Which is where the, well, I'd say friendly banter comes.
Competitive edge.
Competitive. Competitive?
Yes, competitive.
Competitive edge. And slight anger may have come from at times as well.
Well, it all boils down to when Ayrton Senna joined McLaren, because once, I think it was in, Alain Prost said in his last race of his career at McLaren, Ayrton Senna had 20 mechanics working around his car. Yes, 20, that's all. When
20.
you compare it to now.
Well, it's about 300 now.
But he had 20 mechanics working feverishly around the car. Alain Prost had about 5. So that showed you where the team's priorities were going towards when Alain was finishing at McLaren in 1989. Of course, we can't talk about Alain Prost without saying about he owned the Prost Grand Prix team. Bought out the Ligier team back in the mid-90s and wanted an all-French team, took on drivers like Olivier Panis and Jean Alesi.
I think the whole thing was to sort of show the French pride, which they do have quite a lot of over there. It comes in sackfuls.
Yeah.
To show that they could build the best team with the best drivers, the best car, all round.
Unfortunately for Alain,
he bought Ligier, let's put it that way.
Well, no, not that. It's the fact that he managed to offend most of his sponsors along the way, thus meaning that he didn't have any funding. So when it came to the end of it, it was just they just ran out of money and went into liquidation. Yeah,
it wasn't a good time for the sport really in general, because it was losing a team out of a limited number of cars.
Absolutely. So, Alain Prost, obviously, we've talked about the Senna thing. Anything else that you put your finger on Alain Prost as being sort of like one of the things that sets him apart from others?
Well, he did always have the dedication to the actual racing himself, because obviously he was fighting Senna most of the time, but he wanted to prove who he was himself rather than standing in somebody else's shadow. Skills on the track, absolutely. I mean, you could see him going toe to toe with the best of the front end of the grid at the time, and he just blew so many people out of the water with the skills he had in the car at the time. It was just one of the more sort of, when they talk about say Lewis and Jensen, the difference between them. Jensen's fairly smooth compared to Lewis as being straight,
aggressive.
He was a combination of both. I think it was sort of really sort of ruthless, trying to get down the front end, but then also feathering the car around all the circuits, and getting them into the right spot at the right time.
Absolutely.
And it was just them skills that he just seemed to excel at. Shame it didn't quite transfer to the management of the team. But he was probably way up there in my estimation, I think.
Yeah. After Formula 1, of course, he went away from the sport for a while. Then came into ice racing, the Trophy Andros race championship. And actually won it twice in 06-07 and 07-08 in Toyota. It's quite a different skill as ice racing to Formula 1, wouldn't you say?
Well, there's less grip.
less grip. You're driving sideways most of the way, looking through your side window, and it does take quite a lot of skill. As sort of like Van Muller has shown, and Olivier Panis, France's second best racing driver, has shown as well.
Also, quite a few people have recently with the bad weather we've had. Although most of you are rubbish.
I think we might edit that out because, of course, people can watch it anytime on YouTube.
That's fine.
Okay.
Unless you're Canadian or Scandinavian, you're good.
Or Russian.
Controversial.
Or Russian.
Yeah.
No, they just drag boxes and shoot people. So, that was Alain Prost. Why not join us next time for another Masters of Motorsport?